name is Lisa Guerrero, and I have been really blessed. I've had a long career. I'm 50 something years old. I just had a birthday, so I think my birthday was 56. Holy cow. So I have been in front of the camera since I was 15 years old. So for 4 decades, I have been starting with modeling and acting and then transitioning to broadcasting, sportscasting, entertainment reporter, breaking news and general assignment reporter. And for the last 10 years, I've been the chief investigative correspondent at America's #1 news magazine, Inside Edition. People ask me all the time how I am able to be brave. What I do for a living is essentially chasing bad guys. I'm kind of like a combination of Wonder Woman and Columbo and Agatha Christie or something. I am an investigative reporter. So I spend my time researching crimes and scams and cold cases, and then I go and try to chase the person that's hurting somebody. I also interview the victims, so I get to know how they're affected by a scam or a crime. And then I talk to experts within that field, legal experts or law enforcement experts, to understand what happened. And then the final step of my investigation requires me to physically go to where that person is that hurt somebody, whether that is a dirty politician, a scam artist, a murderer, a pedophile. I will go and confront him in real life on camera. So when people see my investigations, they think, oh my gosh, you're so brave. I could never do that. But I'm here to tell you that you can do that. You can be brave. What I've done is essentially practiced being brave. I grew up super shy. I wasn't a popular girl in school. I wasn't a cheerleader. I played softball, and I was in the drill team, and I was a drama geek. I did the morning announcements at my high school. I was not a homecoming queen, but I did learn a certain skill set that helped me do what I do today. And that is, I learned how to be a good public speaker. I took a lot of acting classes and speech classes. I was really good at English and was able to write my own material. I got better with the classes I took. And so I was able to gain confidence on camera because I had a little bit of background with my training. But even then, I was still kind of geeky and insecure. I had glasses and braces. What helped me the most was practicing being brave. In other words, I would pretend to be one of those women I saw on TV in the 70s, either, policewoman Angie Dickinson, or the Bionic Woman, or Wonder Woman, or Charlie's Angels, and they would go chase the bad guys, and they looked fabulous, and they had their hair and their cleavage and everything. But the best thing they did at the end of the day was they cared about justice for their victims, and they would do anything to find that justice. So I figured out pretty early on that I could emulate that I could pretend I was brave, that I could practice being brave. And I gave myself an assignment. I would wake up in the morning and I would say, I'm going to find one opportunity today to stand up for myself or somebody else, even if it's something that takes me out of my comfort zone. I started doing that years ago. And before long, I was able to automatically shift into a place of bravery. That was my default. I was going to be brave and stand up for people and stand up for myself. So now I ask people, I encourage people to commit a random act of bravery every day. So you don't know ahead of time what that's going to be, right? You're going to wake up in the morning, but at some point throughout the day, you're going to go, okay, this is the thing Lisa Guerrero was talking about. I'm going to be the first person to raise my hand in class, or I'm going to go into my boss's office and ask for that raise, or I'm going to see somebody that's being marginalized at a grocery store, and I'm going to stand up for that person. So I found that there is definitely a time in every single day that you have to show that you're being brave. So that's how you can become more brave. It's literally something you can practice. It's like a muscle that makes you stronger. And if you practice being brave every day, I promise you, you will be braver in the days and weeks and years to come. So when I was growing up, I was bullied. I was not a popular girl. I was very insecure. And I, at one point, had the horrible haircut and braces. I was geeky. Here's an even more terrible haircut. And I was a little jock. I was a little softball player. I look like a boy, 100% boy there. I was skinny and flat chested and insecure, except when I was doing sports. Sports really helped me gain a lot of confidence. So I was bullied myself. I know how that feels. And the best advice I give to kids that are being bullied is to understand that this is a temporary situation, that that bully will move on from and you will move on from. The best way to combat a bully is, first of all, to tell other people that you're being bullied. Don't hold it inside. Don't be insecure or ashamed of it. Everybody gets bullied. It's really important that other people know that you're being bullied. So you have to tell your parent, a teacher, a counselor, other friends. You need to let people know that you're experiencing this fear and this bullying because it's not right. And the second thing you need to understand is to not take it personally. Bullies bully anybody they can. And sometimes bullies bully the kids that they're jealous of because they're smart or they understand what's happening in school and maybe the bully doesn't get it. Maybe they're good at sports, but they're awkward looking. So the bully picks on that. So, to try to take yourself out of the equation and understand that it's not about you. Don't take it personally. And then the last thing I'm going to try to convey to you is that it's really important to rise above it, to try to ignore the bully, to try to walk away from the bully. There are times, and there have been times when I have had to physically stand up for myself and my little brother when he was being bullied. I actually got into a fight at school and had to beat somebody up who was bullying my little brother. That's a rare case. In most cases, you can't solve problems by violence. The best case is to let people know, to walk away, to rise above it, and to understand that this is something temporary. It's going to pass, but you need to find your way to navigate around it rather than getting into a physical confrontation with somebody. The best advice I would give a young girl about what kind of activities she should get into that will build her confidence: sports, 100%. If you get into sports, any kind of sport, I mean, my thing was softball. Here's a different picture. Here's a different softball picture. Both times I'm wearing yellow. That's interesting. I gained a lot of confidence in sports, and I looked at my body differently than maybe other girls did, because I thought of my body as kind of a way to be able to throw a ball or to hit a baseball or to kind of succeed on a playing field. I didn't think of my body as something that had to be pretty and look good for boys. I thought about my body as something that was functional for me as an athlete. And that really started to change my perspective of who I am and how I looked at myself. It also gave me an opportunity to be a part of a team with other girls. And that was really important too. Even in golf, if you're golfing, it's not always an individual sport. Sometimes you're competing with your group, and that's also fun. And a lot of times golf gives you an opportunity to raise money for a group of people. And that's an amazing part about the golf world and what golf does and giving back to people. So if there's any sport you can get into, tennis, golf, gymnastics, cheerleading. Cheerleading is considered a sport. You can get a scholarship through the athletic department now with cheerleading. And I was a cheerleader. Not in high school, though. I tried out and didn't make cheerleading in high school. I made it when I was in college, and then I became a Rams cheerleader. So never give up. That's also another thing that you've got to think about. Even if you don't succeed the first time, keep trying out, and you might make it the next year or the year after that. So I would say get involved in sports. That's the best way to think of your body as something other than a decoration or something that you're, taking selfies of and posting on Instagram. Your body is here to make you healthy and to give you a life that takes care of your organs and your brain and your heart and all those things that are important. It's not just about how it looks, it's about how it functions. So get into sports. The thing I love about Women's Golf Day is that it's a celebration of women who play golf, and it's an opportunity to unify women that play golf or are learning to play golf. So Women's Golf Day is celebrated in over 900 locations worldwide. So can you think of the impact that that has on all of those communities and the women within those communities and the men who are supporting Women's Golf Day and support their spouses or their sisters or their moms who play golf. So one of the great things about any kind of sport for women, but specifically Women's Golf Day, is that there is an agenda to lift up women. And that is all about the things that I talk about, right? Which is empowering young girls and empowering women to be their best, to be brave, to be strong. One of the things that makes you strong is exercise, getting outside in the fresh air, doing a skill or a sport where you're literally convening with nature and you're able to enjoy somebody else's company or a group's company. And oftentimes, a lot of these golf outings are opportunities to raise money for nonprofits. And that's something that I really care about. For years, I hosted the Lisa Guerrero Golf Classic for the Salvation Army at Satacoy Country Club here in Southern California. So I understand how important golf can be for the nonprofit world. So I really appreciate what Women's Golf Day is doing, the message it brings, and the fact that it unifies women, not just in your community, but all over the world. I really appreciate the fact that Women's Golf Day has had an agenda of bringing women together and reaching out to women across the globe and empowering women. So I just want to say thank you so much to Women's Golf Day for everything that you're doing. And if you'd like to reach out to me, make sure that you reach out to me on all of my social media platforms. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, I'm everywhere, LinkedIn, and I'm at the number 4, Lisa Guerrero, and it's LISAGUERRERO. Definitely reach out to me. I am on social media all the time, and I want to talk about golf. I want to talk about sports. I want to talk about politics, pop culture. I want to talk about everything that we're going through together. And please feel free to reach out to me. And thank you so much to Women's Golf Day.